MacVoices is supported by ATTO, the power behind the storage. Visit atto.com to learn more. MacVoices is at Macstock 2019 in Woodstock, Illinois. I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, it's been way too long since I've talked to Mike Rose. I don't know what happened, how we got off track, but he's here now, and I want to catch up with him. Mike, it's good to see you.
It's great to see you, Chuck. It has been a long time, but I'm glad. I'm glad to be in the same place at the same time for a change.
My perception is for a while you were really doing a lot more traveling and just we couldn't put the schedules together.
That's true. I mean, my job does require quite a bit of travel, and for several years it was pretty busy. It's lightened up a little bit now. I have a little bit more control over it.
So now I have a chance of getting you back on the show a little more regularly.
Absolutely. You know where to find me.
I do. What's your impression of Macstock this year?
It's fantastic. This is my first year back since 2016, which was the first Macstock I attended. I think it was the second event and the first one I was here for. And it just continues to have this amazing feeling of community, really professionally put together, really well coordinated and well organized, but without losing the charm of an operation that is community run and community driven. So it's great to see a lot of the people that I don't get to see very often. Great to hear from some amazing creators and technology folks, podcasters, who you would not get the opportunity at a larger show to interact with and meet as many people. So it's a lot of fun.
Charm is an interesting word. I haven't heard that word used, but I would completely agree. I would not have come up with it, but I completely agree with it, that there's something about this gathering. I don't know if it's the venue. I think there's definitely the common denominator of Apple technology, but it's just fun.
Yeah, it's got Midwestern charm, and also one of the other things about doing something like this here in McHenry in the Woodstock area. We're at McHenry Community College. There's not a lot around in the immediate vicinity. Of course, there is Woodstock. There's stuff to do if you go a little ways. But right here, there's sort of a very coherent and focused attention to what we're doing here at Macstock. So whether it's within the sessions or in the breakouts or in the hallway tracking, talking to people, you can't really get pulled away by the temptations of a Las Vegas or a Boston or a San Francisco. It's quite intimate, and it's a great place to maybe make some connections that wouldn't be possible in that more hectic, busy environment.
I've had so many people just walk up and introduce themselves, or I walked up and introduced myself to them. We have great conversations. Everybody has an interesting story to tell, whether they're retired from something interesting or just getting started with something interesting. There's so much.
Yeah, and actually, it's funny you mentioned retirement. Rick Cartwright, who just presented at the session that just ended before lunch, was talking about his transition into retirement and how that had driven his photography and specifically his iOS videography and video editing. And it's something I think we're of an approximate age, you and I, within a few years of one another. And it's something I've started to think about, which is what am I going to be spending my time doing when I'm not working anymore? And of course, it's going to be something connected to the Mac and something connected to the Apple community. But what is it? And so seeing what folks like Rick are doing, and in fact, a lot of the people who are attending MacVoices are folks who've retired or who are second or third career, and some are folks that are still working, but have actually been in the Mac community for as long as there's been a Mac community. Thinking of Jim Ria of ProView. I mean, there are folks who've been part of this world for so long and have gone through several sort of life transitions or career transitions and found their voice or found their creative outlet later on in life. I think that's pretty impressive and a lot of fun to hear those stories.
And I'm always intrigued by people that find that creative outlet, that productivity outlet, excuse me, whatever, through the technology. The technology either facilitates it, enables it, or creates it for them. And I love that.
Yeah, and it's unusual because people don't always think of the tools driving the exploration of the talent. But sometimes that's what it takes. You need that enabler or something to unlock the creative energy. And I mean, certainly it's funny to say it because of course that's traditionally what the Mac has been associated with for decades is creative people and folks who are doing creative things, design and video editing and creating something new and exciting. But that doesn't only apply to people who consider themselves professional creators. It applies to everybody who's willing to pick up a pencil or an Apple Pencil or an iPad or a phone and make something that they want to share. That's really all it takes.
We have so much we need to catch up on, Mike. First of all, your upcoming retirement. But
2 kids put through college first.
Okay, so it won't be quite upcoming
Not
as I thought. All right. Where do folks find you now? Are you still active in the tech space?
Am I still active? Yes, so I do have a podcast with the lovely and talented Kelly Guimont. So Kelly and I were the co-hosts of the TUAW Talkcast for many years together, and when that folded, we created our own podcast. So it's the After Show. There's a number of podcasts called the After Show, so the best way to find us is at the website, which is aftershowpodcast, all one word, .com, or on Twitter at @the_aftershow. And that's really an occasional, more general technical interest show. It's Kelly and I catching up on the things that we're interested in, issues of women in STEM and technology, the basketball Knicks fan versus Portland Trailblazers fan, and a lot of other topics. So we do have a lot of fun doing that. We recorded a show actually yesterday right here at Macstock, which you were kind enough to walk in and be part of unexpectedly. So you can find me there. You can find me on Twitter at Mike T. Rose. And I'm not actively blogging at the moment. One of the things that when TUAW folded, sadly, one of the things I had to step back from was technology writing, because I do work for a technology company, and working for a software company and writing even about peripheral stuff in the ecosystem is a little tricky. So I'm still trying to negotiate exactly what that would look like if I were to pick up the baton again. But in the meantime, you can find me on Twitter, and you can find the show at aftershowpodcast.com.
And Mike and I, one passion we both share that we'll have to talk about starting a podcast is politics, because we absolutely see eye to eye on politics.
We totally do. Yes. One eye pointing that way.
Mike, thanks so much. It's good to see you.
Chuck, it's a pleasure. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
You too. Folks, more from Macstock 2019 in Woodstock. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.